Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves. We're playing as Japan, and it is January of 1921. We're coming up on the end of the game. There's 4 years left. We've just fought a war with the United States, and we came out the betters. Despite losing about equal ships as America, we ended up winning a political victory, largely thanks to our submarine force. Where we were able to claim North Korea and the Philippines as colonies for the Empire of Japan. Additionally, we had previously claimed Angola, which has proved to be a gold mine because it has oil in it, which allows us to start building ships with oil-fired boilers. Which gives us some substantial advantages. Meanwhile, the victory over the United States evicts them for the most part from the Pacific, or the Western Pacific. They still have the island of, is that Guam, I think? But outside of Guam, they don't have any other presence in either northern or southern Asia, which gives us a tremendous advantage locally. Additionally, we are generating a little bit of additional revenue from these two colonies, which allows us to, even though the war is over, maintain a naval budget which is about on par of where our naval budget was during very high tensions. Our naval budget is far surpassing Italy now, which was not the case previously, and actually surpassing France at the moment as well, which gives us a little bit of flexibility. You can see here we have $5 million monthly balance. We're not building a whole lot of ships right now. We've got 4 light cruisers under construction, and we've got a battleship under construction. But with $5 million in the bank, we could afford to go ahead and, basically build some more ships. First of all, we're going to go ahead and scrap the Iwami. This class of battleships, despite having 16 8-inch guns and 6 9-inch guns, proved obsolete in the last war. The Iwami won a battle star, but her sister ship was sunk in a battle, and with her speed of 18 knots, she won't prove all that useful, and her upkeep costs as well when back in the active fleet are a little bit too high. So rather than mothball like she was before, we're going to go ahead and scrap it. And we'll get just shy of $1 million as well in scrapping funds. So now that we scrap that ship, you can see here we've got 6 battleships in service. A 7th is under construction. We have 4 battle cruisers in service, none under construction. That puts us at 7. That puts us behind pretty much everybody, Russia, in terms of battleships, but Russia has us beat handily in terms of battle cruisers, so our fleet is behind everybody, basically. Interestingly enough, the United States has 16 battleships in service. They did lose 2 in the war to us, but they were building 9 during the war. It looks like a lot of those completed, but they weren't able to bring them all to bear against Japan. And our submarine force actually played a pivotal role in our victory over the United States. Coastal subs, not as useful as kind of middle-sized subs either. So I think one thing we may want to do is scrap some of these coastals and replace them with ocean-going subs in the case that a war erupts. So what we'll do is, rather than, it looks like we've got a mine lane sub as well, which is an option. That's interesting. What we'll do is we'll build 4 mine lane subs, because I think those could be useful in a war. Something that isn't talked about a lot is that actually during World War II and World War I as well, submarine-laid minefields actually played havoc on merchant shipping. And early in the war, actually, in World War II, submarines that laid mines destroyed more shipping than the actual German submarines did. So we'll build 4 of those mine lane subs. Additionally, we'll build 4 regular medium subs. So we're building 8 new submarines at the moment. I want to expand our sub fleet, and while we do that, we're also going to go ahead and scrap our 1812 crop of coastal subs. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're building some new light cruisers. Is that a new design? The Akashuma class. I want to say that's a new design. I could be wrong. Yeah, that's a new light cruiser class. So additionally, I think what we'll do is we'll build maybe 2 more of these light cruisers, because we don't have nearly enough light cruisers. It's actually, it's a, no, Where is it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a 1920 class, so I guess we'll build 2 more of those. So we'll be building 6 light cruisers, 2 rebuilds, and 4 new constructions. And then at that point, we've got enough money left over for probably 1 more battleship at this point in time. Rather than build a whole new class, I think I'm going to build a new Meiji class. The Meiji class is only a year old. The design is a little bit older, but I think we'll just build a 3rd Meiji class as well. It's a 1917 design. So it is 4 years old, but I'm okay with that. So there you go. And once the Sagami completes as well, we'll add another one. I was debating building a new battlecruiser class, but frankly, I just don't find the battlecruisers all that useful, and I'd like to get more battleships in service. So you can see there we now have a deficit, but this ship will come off the ways before we run out of money. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump ahead to February. I guess we'll just kind of keep moving forward. There's been internal upheaval in Cuba. Great Britain is apparently sending a force there to restore order, but likely they have more far-reaching plans. Let's send an ultimatum to the British. We do have tensions with the British that are kind of high. We'll do international. Great Britain ignores us and completes the occupation of Cuba. One thing I wonder is, you can see Great Britain now occupies Cuba, which I'm sure America is not thrilled about. But one thing I wonder with this game is it seems like every time you push for an international force to intervene in a conflict, it always fails. And I know I'm still playing the original game. There's been a couple of patches that have come out since, but I hope maybe that's been addressed where, if you actually try and press for an international force, it can thwart the aggressing nation sometimes, not all the time, but it should thwart them sometimes, and it doesn't seem like the game ever does that. 10-inch guns of quality 0 for $4 million. We don't really build any ships with 10-inch guns, but I always like to have better guns, so why not? Okay. Research breakthrough, okay. So basically corruption. So we'll decline corruption. I don't know if we'll end up fighting another war or not. I'm kind of skeptical that we will. So I may be getting a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. So I may be getting a little bit kind of race through this because there's only a couple of years left in the game, and with the way that tensions are right now, I'm kind of thinking that maybe, there won't be another war. It looks like we just improved the quality of our 14-inch guns up to quality 0. Not that it matters because we're not building any ships with 14-inch guns. September. Let's see. Shooting competition. Sure. I don't know what shell dies do. I should have read that. Okay. So 6-inch guns. All right, so one of our battleships completed. We've got one more under construction, the 37,000-ton Yashima. We only have $12 million left, so I'm not going to lay down another battleship quite yet. A regional war seems imminent on the Asian mainland. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to step up exports to likely belligerents. Strong arm, budget tensions. Sure, why not? We need more money. It increases tensions, but I don't give a damn about tensions. Alright, so looks like maybe we'll end up fighting the British before all's said and done. I guess it depends. A few more months here till some of this stuff is completed. Are those subs done yet? No, they're done in 4 months. So we're into 1922. And private shipbuilding's really on a roll. No, let's sell it to the Germans. Our tensions with the Germans are really low. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to design a new ship here. Just debating when exactly to do it. I think I'm going to wait till mid-year because I'd like to build 2 of them and I'd like them to be battle cruisers. I don't care if we piss off France. So it looks like our naval research is also improving the quality of our guns as well. So that's good. Um, Gradually gaining some prestige. A little bit of extra money here. We'll go another month. So our subs are now commissioning. And light cruisers as well. Okay. Sudden slump in the economy. No, we cannot afford to cut military spending. 16-inch guns, banzai. All right, so let's design a new ship class. I think I'm going to go with a battle cruiser this time. Whoops. So we've got some extra money. We can build some ships. We've got some spare funds. We're going to go ahead and design some new ships here. So I want it to be a battle cruiser. I want a super fast, well-armored ship. We'll let the computer do the initial auto design. And you can see the Haruna class, they're looking at mounting 16-inch guns. Triple turrets, but also doubles, so 10 of these. It's got 39,000 tons, but we can build bigger. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the aft superimposed and forward superimposed and replace them with triple turrets. Aft superimposed, forward superimposed. So there we've got triples on both. It's going to be overweight, but I'm okay with that. So we'll just add a little bit of tonnage. Maybe we'll make it a 40,000 ton. 41,000? 42,000? Make it 30 knots. Let's just make it 43,000. Or 44,000. We can build up to 45,000 tons, so why don't we do that? Okay, so it's going to be a 30-knot speed demon. Belt armor's 10 inches. Deck armor is 3 inches. This is about as well armored as any of our other ships. Maybe we'll do deck extended. No, that's too heavy. Okay. It's got 6-inch guns and its secondaries. They're in casemates. What if we did single turrets? How much weight would that be? What if we do double turrets? Save some weight. Yeah. I said we drop the caliber down to 5 inches to save a little bit of additional weight. Again, we're going to take a rate of fire penalty because we don't know how to do that, sir. I'm sorry. And we'll reduce 16 of them. Okay. So we got 16 5-inch guns and double turrets as our secondaries. And then we've got 12 16-inch guns as our main guns and triple turrets. Torpedo defense will up it to 2. Oh, we can do 3, but we don't have the weight for it. What's our dock limit? 46,000. So what if we increase it to 46,000? What's our weight situation then? This is going to be a really expensive ship. Still 500 tons short. Damn. Let's see. Make 30 knots. Drop rounds per gun down a bit. 75 is probably enough per gun. I want to say 75 is about what you usually saw. Ammo's a little on the low side. Whoa, 250. Okay, I guess that's a 75 is too low. Oh, come on. Good Lord. Fighting with my computer. Okay, so we're 250 tons over. We don't need those torpedo tubes. That's just a waste of space and weight. Maybe we drop the secondaries to 14. No, we'll do 12. That way you'll put 3 on each side. Gets us back in line with weight. Allows us to have the max torpedo defense of 3, which is important. We saw in the last war how often we were getting hit by torpedoes. Can we up it to 3.5? No, way too heavy. Okay. What about the belt armor? 10.5? No, way too heavy. So 10 inches. Conning tower, maybe we up it to 12. Turret top up to 3. Can't do that. 2.5. Maybe. Nope. Too heavy. I guess we're just going to have some extra weight. I suppose we could use that for something eventually. Fire controls, 2. Maybe we have 3 fire control spots. So that way we have 3 fire control spots. It adds a redundant, some redundancy in the case one gets knocked out. 3 tons spare, 825 crew, 46,000 tons. And yeah, let's rename it the... No, I'm not going to be political. Never mind. Okay, save the Haruna. Yes. So the Haruna class, 46,000 tons. Damn, 6 million per turn. That's an expensive ship. We can only afford one at a time. It's basically our hood. Yeah. First ship of the class, extra cost of 10 million. That's fine. There you go. We're building a new battle cruiser, the Haruna, a 46,000 ton ship. Mounts 12 16-inch guns, 12 5-inch guns, 10 inches of armor amidship, or belt armor. So it's a little bit weaker. Our belt is 12 inches on the Medjai class. Deck armor of 3 inches is still the same. Turrets of 10 inches are a bit weaker. Conning tower is a bit weaker. But overall, I feel like the Haruna is reasonably well armored at 10 inches of armor amidships. I'm pretty happy with that class. I think if we get into a conflict with it, it'll be useful. It's going to take almost 3 years, so the game will be almost over before it's completed. Let's see. Russian government's interested in buying triple bottom for 4 million. Sensitive technology. We're not selling to the fucking Russians. Pardon my language. And recent improvements in productivity has boosted our industrial production. That's cool. Under construction. Let's build a second Haruna. I always like building classes in tandem. So the Kirishima will be the second Haruna class, and that way we've got 2 Haruna class battle cruisers under construction at 30 knots. These things are going to be amongst the fastest ships on the oceans if they don't bankrupt us. And private shipbuilding has now expanded dock capacity up to 47,000 tons. With the 2 battle cruisers under construction, the 1 battleship under construction, the 7 and 4 already complete. We'll have 14 when we're all done. Holy crap, the British have 15 battleships and 10 battle cruisers. Wow. Okay, so 14 would put us ahead of the Russians. No, actually it wouldn't. Wouldn't put us ahead of anyone. Great. Oh well. I'm glad to see that we waste money. What do we waste our money on? God, what are we behind on? It just seems like maybe my ships are just too big and too expensive. Maybe I need to build smaller ones. Russian government's offering to sell us the right to ladder shooting. Sure. Okay. I wonder if we'll go bankrupt. We have too few battleships, according to right-wing politicians. That's great. We're building 2 of the biggest battleships in the world, but we don't have enough. I'm glad you think that. After a naval visit by Germany, you're asked by journalists to comment on the visiting ships. We're impressed. Happy to have hosted the fine ships. These rust buckets. Rust buckets. Yeah, those rust bucket German ships. Increased tensions increases the military budget, which I'm okay with. Technology at a reasonable price. We need that technology. Yeah, we really do. Okay. Kind of playing things close. Stop saying it. Our battleships, we have a lot of battleships. Don't criticize us. We've got about as many as we can get. We're about to have the Yashima. Come on. The Yashima is almost done. The Navy is not a tool for increasing profits. Sure. That sounds like a good thing to say. Okay. Make the agent a national hero. Because we've got pretty good relations with the Germans. I'm not too worried about provoking a war with them. We've got 2 battle cruisers and a battleship still under construction. And we have no extra money. So we could increase tensions with the British. It would increase our budget. Or handle it discreetly. Discreetly doesn't hurt our prestige, so we'll do that. I'm not in the mood of starting a war here at the very end of the game. Boom times. There have been windfall and tax revenues. What's your recommendation? Strengthen the Navy. Of course. Give us more money. That's the rule. So I guess we can build another ship of the Haruna class. I don't feel like designing another ship, so we'll build another one. So, again, right-wing politicians, you should be happy now. We'll have 15 ships when we're all told and done. Granted, that's behind everybody else, but I don't know how anybody else affords any other ships. I mean, really, the Italians' naval budget is almost 80 million less than us, and yet somehow they're affording this. They don't have any cruisers. They have way fewer light cruisers. They have no destroyer. Like, where are they? Where is the money for this? Just doesn't make any sense. We're getting kind of close to a war with Britain here with a year left in the game. Prime Ministers hold an international naval gathering with sailing regatta competition. Yeah. So basically a regatta, it'll improve our prestige and lower tensions. Sure. Anything that gives us more prestige, I guess. The German government's willing to sell us improved armor. I don't want to spend the money. Okay. Man, private shipbuilding keeps expanding these docks. France. Yeah, but I don't care if we make the French mad. They're not too mad at us right now. We don't have too few battleships, guys. We're building 3 more. I don't have any money for anything else. If you want to give me more money, that's fine. I'm willing to do that. There's been an internal upheaval in Venezuela. Great Britain is apparently sending a force there. I don't feel like doing anything. Great Britain is taking control of Venezuela. Okay, fine. Great Britain is taking control of Venezuela, and the U.S. is doing nothing about it. Right. That seems logical. Political murder in the Balkans. How do you handle the crisis? So we could start a war. We could start a war. Or we could start a war. Well, it looks like we just barely avoided a war. But really, we're literally one event away from a war. My prestige suffers, great, because we have the smallest tonnage of battleships. No need for the ramshackle inventions. We don't have the spare cash for it. With 3 months left, I think we can build another one. Build ship. Build another Haruna class. Name it the Congo. So we've got 4 of these behemoths, which should serve us well for quite a while. That'll give us 16 battleships. But again, the next closest has 20. That's insane. The Italians never would have been able to afford 20 battleships. I think the game's economic model is a little bit broken as we get later into the game. No. Okay. About to go bankrupt, but that's cool. Great Britain has sent an ultimatum. Really? I don't want to go to war with them. We can't beat the British in a war. Holy crap, we have no money left. This will bring our funds into the red. Yeah, they'll do it anyway. Rule the waves. Assert engine cost is negative 542. I don't know what that means. One of the cruisers run aground ashore of a minor nation while performing an illicit operation. They threaten to impound the ship. What's our reaction? Demand they release. Well, that'll start a war. That'll hurt prestige. We'll do that. Okay. So, yeah. Everyone's tensions are getting real high again. New Naval Secretary believes submarines are the key to victory in a future war. He wants you to build at least 28 additional submarines. Holy crap. Submarines are underhanded and are damned un-Japanese. Sure. Give me more prestige. Okay. So I guess now that that's done, we now have 6, 8. I guess we can. The Haruna kind of is, in my mind, a battleship in of its own. So I'm going to build another one of them. I'm also letting the rest of the fleet fall horribly, horribly behind. But I guess I'm okay with that. Okay. And we'll build another one. Because I think we've... Oh, I'm going to be bankrupt before that's up. The game is over! Gengshi Historical Gamer, Prestige 37, made it to the year 1926. In recognition of your service, the Navy will name a new battleship Gengshi HG. Okay, so score 37. I guess that's the first game I've really completed, so I'm number 1. Yay! Greatest admirals of all time. Alright, guys. I kind of feel like I rushed through the end of this series, and for that I'm sorry. It was certainly an interesting series, but kind of by the time you get to like 23 or 24, it's hard to be, too focused on doing anything too futuristic. I mean, again, you don't want to start a war with a game to end halfway through your war, so I'm sorry for rushing through it. I may come back and do another series of Rule the Waves. I had a lot of fun with this series. I'm glad that I finished it, kind of like with Commander the Great War. It's been a while. If I do another series, I'll definitely download the patch to make sure that it's the most up-to-date game. But it may be a little bit before I come back and do another series of this game. It's a lot of fun. I love this game. It's a whole lot of fun. It really is a great game. But I may hold off on doing something right away because I'm still in the middle of a few other things. I want to do an Atlantic Fleet series. It seemed like there was a lot of interest for that. I also want to continue my Soviet Core series, which is kind of stalled, and I'd like to be able to have some time to do both of those series as well. But I certainly intend to come back. I'm thinking maybe if I come back, I'd play as like Italy or certainly a European power, but maybe Italy. I think Italy has some parts of it that could be interesting. You're kind of an underdog. You definitely will be the smallest nation in Europe unless Austria-Hungary's playable, but with also a lot of sort of imperialistic ambitions. Or maybe one of the player-controlled nations or player-created nations, because I know some players in the modding community have been putting together some other countries as well, above just the countries the game starts with. The other alternative is maybe playing as like a CSA type thing. If the Confederacy had won the American Civil War, you could play as possibly like the Confederacy. But mainly the first priority I would say is getting the Atlantic Fleet series going. I'm actually just starting to read a book by Clay Blair about I think it's called The Hunters. It's Hitler's U-boat campaign or something to that effect, where it's an 800-page book about the first 3 years of the U-boat wars in World War II from 39 to 42, and then he's got a second book, another 900 pages, that covers 42 to 45. He wrote the book Silent Victory, which is a bestseller. He also wrote The Forgotten War, which is also a bestseller about the war in Korea. Silent Victory is about the U.S. sub-campaign in the Pacific, and was a very well-regarded historian. Is considered to have written the best book, or the most kind of all-encompassing book, the definitive book on the U.S. submarine war in the Pacific, as well as the Korean War. I don't know how his World War II German sub-book is regarded, but I'm just starting to get into it. And I think that'll give me a lot of good content to discuss in my Atlantic Fleet series. So it's certainly something that I hope you guys are looking forward to. I think the Atlantic Fleet series will focus more on historical discussion than it will actual gameplay discussion. Although I may make a couple standalone videos that focus on like kind of how you fight a battle or how the campaign works, because I know it seems like there was some frustration in my video about how the game didn't really show all that off very well. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, as always, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.